Hey there, this is Pastor Micah from Life's Journey United Church of Christ. Missed all of you, and I am just overjoyed to be returning to work with the church this week here on the heels of my marriage and honeymoon. We are still kind of in unpacking mode here at the Hardy Royal House with boxes all over as we consolidate our two houses into one new home together, but largely due to our lay leaders at Life's Journey stepping forward, and also our guest preachers, Pastor Jimmy, Pastor Tony, and Pastor Donna. Thank you each for what you've done. We have been able, Paula and I, to focus on preparing for our wedding, then celebrating our new life together in the wedding and honeymoon, and starting things on a good foundation as we begin a new life together. We carry memories with us now from this time that we will treasure our whole life long. So thank you all for this time and your support through it. As I was thinking of what to share in this week's midweek devotional, I remembered a jarring moment during our honeymoon. No, I'm not going to share a fight. But we had set up to stay in a retreat-style bed and breakfast in Maine. And it was a real retreat, overlooking the water, nestled in beautiful woods, with farm-raised breakfast food every morning. We really were feeling able to put the worries of life aside and focus on each other, something I think every couple needs from time to time. But one morning, as we prepared to get ready for breakfast, though, I looked and saw the shocking news on my phone's news app that the Supreme Court had overturned Roe versus Wade, a legal decision which cemented not only a woman's right to abortion, but legally put in place the idea of women's rights over their choices and decisions, and was the legal precedent that laid the groundwork for marriage equality for LGBT people. So that morning, as I was trying to retreat away, I was shook to the core. And I felt the jarring reality that even while taking respite to begin our lives together, Paula and I can't get away from the challenges our world faces. And they are many. During our time away, women have had to fight again for their own rights in ways they have not had to in our country in the same way for years. Threats have popped up toward LGBT people. If you're not aware of this, just look at the news. You'll see it's there. Racialized violence has occurred from white supremacists again and again. The challenges of the world have gone on, and they are huge. Each morning, Paula and I had tried since the wedding to pray together and meditate on what God was saying to us for the day. And in Paula and I thinking and praying together that morning about what this new page we've turned in our lives means, I was reminded of the words of Dietrich Bonhoeffer. And most of you who followed my preaching and who've been at the church know he's a hero of mine. I was reminded of words Bonhoeffer wrote to his fiancée Maria as they awaited their marriage. After their engagement, Bonhoeffer was thrown in jail for his standing against German leaders using their power to oppress and even murder minorities, including Jews, LGBT people, people with disabilities, and racial and religious minorities of all stripes. Bonhoeffer knew his life was threatened, and he knew other people faced challenges he did not know how to set right. I'm not in as dire a situation as Bonhoeffer, but I could see myself in his words. And in this moment, Bonhoeffer wrote to his fiancée Maria, "When I consider the state of the world, the total obscurity enshrouding our personal destiny, and my present imprisonment, our union can only be a token of God's grace and goodness, which summons us to believe in him. We would have to be blind not to see that. When Jeremiah said in his people's hour of direst need that houses and vineyards and fields shall again be bought in this land, it was a token of confidence in the future. That requires faith, and may God grant it to us daily. I don't mean the faith that flees the world, but the faith that endures in the world and loves and remains true to that world in spite of all the hardships it brings us. Our marriage must be a yes to God's earth. It must strengthen our resolve to do and accomplish something on earth. I fear that Christians who venture to stand on earth on only one leg will stand in heaven on only one leg too. Remembering his words as we prayed together in Maine. Not only about our marriage, but the startling news that we heard. I was reminded this marriage I have can too be a yes to God's earth. In our small way, we can choose to shape our marriage so we are open toward others, in partners in working to light candles against the darkness, helping be forces of hope and healing in a broken world. It dawned on me too, all of our life can be that, each of us. How I do my daily job with hospice, how I engage my community, how I support neighbors and friends, how I live out my life as a son, as a brother, as a friend to others, how I vote, how I give. It is easy to retreat into our shells in this moment, to hide from the challenges around us. But each of us can be a part of the calling. In our workplaces, in our neighborhoods, in our family life, in our partnerships or marriages, in our singleness and independence, in our callings in church and community service, to be ones who light the candle in the darkness that shows the way. We each can roll up our sleeves and make a difference. As our Jewish siblings in faith say in their Talmud, do not be daunted by the enormity of the world's grief. Do justly now. Love mercy now. Walk humbly now. You are not obligated to complete the work, but neither are you free to abandon it. May we each find our ways to live into this truth, being a part of God's answers to others' prayers and our own. I'll see you each Sunday. This Sunday, so you know, we have a special Christmas in July service, and I hope you join us there. God bless you all. See you soon.